Hello there, and if you're new to the channel, my name is David. After years of camping, caravanning and driving around the UK with my old beloved VW Campervan, I've now settled down a bit and changed to something smaller. Join me as I convert the family car, a Peugeot Partner Tepee, into my very own microcamper. This is my video diary of both the camper's creation and the amazing places I find to visit, stay and explore. Welcome to my micro camper diaries. Hello there, good morning and welcome to the vlog. Bit of a strange one today. Today's subject is ablutions. You've got to excuse me, I am streaming with a cold and outside we have that storm raging away. So I'm in my local village hall. They very kindly let me use it now and again. Right then, before we get on to ablutions, I thought we'd go through all the tackle or bits and bobs that I occasionally carry with me on my travels. If we start off with the cassette, which I've made 2 or 3 programs back. If you haven't seen it, please flip back and have a look. The cassette stays in the back of the car all the time. I purposely designed it so that I could use my car as per normal. I didn't have to alter things. I didn't have to keep putting things in and out all the time. So it remains there all the time. On that subject, I have had a couple of people ask questions, and very much a thank you to everybody who does write in and suggest things and comment. And number one was about the insulation. The insulation I put on the floor below the carpet is camper insulation. You can buy it off the net, various sizes, but really only needed a short piece. And this was a bit I'd left over from my VW. It's sticky backed. It's about 5 or 10 millimeters thick, so it doesn't take up too much space and doesn't interfere with the chairs going in and out and what have you. It's cheap as chips. It's worth getting, and anything you can get between you and the metal floor is certainly worth having. So the other thing was that a chap asked, could I make it any bigger? Well, funnily enough, a local chap has asked me to make him one. So sometime during the summer, we are going to make one that is slightly thicker. In other words, it will go right to the height of the chairs when folded over, so that it makes the bed that way, and that way the seats can stay in the back of the van. Hopefully, we'll film that sometime during the summer months, perhaps. The next thing I have on my list came in another program a couple back, and that was the awning. This is all it takes for the awning. I have one tarp sheet, which, as you can see, is quite small. It's a bit new, so it's a bit bouncier than what it normally would be. And of course, 3 poles, and that's it. I have some guy ropes that I have from my camping, and together with the pins, that's it. Back again. We can't possibly go camping without a good stove, and this is it. No big tank with this. This is all done with these small canisters. The beauty of that is if one runs out, you aren't left without gas. And also they don't take a right lot of storage space. So this is my double burner, which sits in the drawer in the sleeping cassette. And because we live in Britain and there's always wind, I have this which slots over the top to keep the wind off. On top of that, this folds up by the way and doesn't take a great deal of room. These are cheaply found on the internet or in camping shops, so we'll get rid of those. Obviously you need kettles and pans, and I've got a fair few of those. This little gizmo is quite useful. It folds up nicely and flat and allows you to make toast. And where would you be on a morning without a cup of tea and a slice of toast? Some of you don't drink tea. Some of you drink coffee. This is a magical little gizmo that allows you to put ground coffee in, add your hot water, and you get a steaming cup of Joe. So I'll get rid of that. Some of you asked about the size of the barbecue. If those of you who haven't seen the previous program, I created this little disposable barbecue. Well, it's not disposable, but it's small enough to replace it. Obviously it fits in a bag. It can fit in a pump bag or just a general bag. But if you look at it at the size of this can of gas, you realise it's not too big at all. I love it. I've had one of these for years. The trouble is that every time somebody sees it, I end up giving it away. And finally, the next big item is this cold box. It goes mains, so you can plug it into the mains, or you can plug it into your 12-volt socket. Very useful, keeps everything nice and chilly. I put cold packs in it first to give it a bit of a chance, so it doesn't need as much power. Very useful. I don't take it on every trip, just usually when I'm off with my missus and the kids in summer. It's very handy, keeps it cool, keeps your milk cool. So those are the main big items that are likely to carry. Everything else is really flat packed. Onto electricals. This is the next big item. This tucks down the back of the seat. It's a big battery in there, and it allows me to plug in all my 12-volt bits and pieces. I have a little gauge on there, it tells me how well it's doing, and I mounted on top of it a small fan heater, which also acts as a fan. So it's a really useful piece of kit, and it stops me flattening the car battery. Oh, lift that down there, get it out of the way. Already mentioned the fan or the heater, but these are very handy, very lightweight, USB 12-volt fans, very handy in summer for circulating the air about. If by any chance you do get to a campsite, then these are also handy. I sometimes carry a battery charger and things so I can charge up the battery box and give everything a bit of a boost, but also hair dryers and everything else all plug into one of these. So these are very useful things to carry around with you. Just make sure you camp close enough to the junction box. Lighting. In a previous program, I've already mentioned these things. You can pick them up at camping shops and garden centres. They're magnetic, so that you can put them on the side of your van or anywhere else you want them. They have a little PIR bubble on the top, which means that if you've got this on the side of your van, you've gone off down to the pub or something, you come back at night and it's dark, this will click on as soon as it captures you coming up to your van. Most useful bit of kit. Torches and lamps are always come in. There's the big daddy of this little one. They're LED, and I think I've had this for donkey's years, and it's still on the first set of batteries, so it just shows you how well they go. If you have an airbed, I always use airbeds because they pack away flat and they just get out of the way. You need an air pump, and this is it. I'm going to sneeze, so excuse me if I do. Also, a tyre pump. Now, other than the obvious of blowing up your car tyres, this has a very good use, and I'll point it out a little later on. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It's really useful. It builds things up. The lovely people counter thing is going around really quickly, so I'm really amazed that anybody wants to watch me, but there you go. I do enjoy making things, and it's a real pleasure. And thank you to all the wonderful comments I've had. Absolutely great. So subscribe, like, share with your friends. That's fantastic. Right, moving on, before I have to sneeze again. Storage boxes. You can't have enough of these things. What I've done here is I've mounted a tray onto the top. So this is handy. It stays in the van a lot of times with a cup of tea and my book, etc. and the laptop. So it's really useful. and these size boxes are great. Other things that you should really be carrying is some kind of small first aid kit. You never know when you're going to cut yourself or catch yourself on brambles, or you name it, it's there. And the other thing, of course, a small fire extinguisher. This is a simple one. You just pull out this pin, aim it at the fire, and off it goes. If you are going to cook in your van, then do make sure you have a carbon monoxide. You get them now that are joint carbon monoxide stroke fire alarm, so they're useful. Keeping warm, especially in winter. I've raved about these things since they first arrived up, because the old hot water bottles were about that size, and though kept you warm, these go all the way down the side of your body. Absolutely fantastic, well worth the money. They're about a tenner. And the other thing is this. This is brilliant. It's a 12-volt electric blanket, and I wouldn't be without it during the winter months. It really is fantastic. Put it on top of the airbed, leave it there while you're driving around so that you're not flattening the battery, and there you have it. Before we finally get onto the ablutions, I love airbeds. They're fantastic, and providing you blow them up with a pump, they can last a good few years. I also deflate them with the air pump as well. You can't beat them. This is the single one. Obviously the double one fits in the car as well, which is really useful. Always carry a few bungees about. You never know when you're going to need them, but do be careful. These things can flick out and get you in the eyes. And finally, the old folding chairs. Where would you be without a folding chair? I carry one round with me all the time in the back of the car, just in case I get to sit out in a bit of sunshine. But if you're out there camping, sitting under the awning, with a fire pit, doing the barbecue, with a folding chair, nothing better. I'm back, I've blown my nose. This, by the way, is for nose blowing. First thing on the list, of course, is the bowl. These things have been about for years. They're absolutely fantastic, allow you to get your washing done or to do all your washing up. Very good space-saving device, well worth a couple of quid it probably costs to have one. Next thing on the list is, it's middle of winter, it's freezing outside, possibly snowing. The last thing you want to do is leave your van to go to the toilet. What you want is a Herman, a Pee-wee Herman. Yes, obviously can be used by either sex with that little adaptation. Get the lid on firmly. You don't want to be creeping out in the cold in the middle of the night. So that's what that's for. The next thing is this. I carry it with me for emergencies, and we've never ever used it. But it does give you, it makes you feel better that you do have it. I do have a toilet tent, shower tent, which I'll pop up in a bit and show you. But this is our toilet. Small. Comes complete with black bags. All you do is to pop it up, open it out. There's a little insert in the bottom. That goes in the top. You put your bag in over the top of that, fold it down, and that never works when you want it to. There you are, there's your toilet. Obviously, it's a giant dog poo bag, but it works. And if it gets you out of trouble, pack everything away. Some people pack sawdust and things in the bag to sort of remove the smell, but to be quite honest, as soon as it's been used, it gets bagged up and put in the bin or put somewhere out of the way until you can put it in the bin. But it will take my weight, and I'm 16 stone, so it should be okay. Comes complete with a bag. Brilliant. Get rid of those. The next thing is showering. Now then, that's a good thing. What I'm going to do, this is my pop-up toilet cum shower tent. So I think I'll film putting that up. Putting these things up couldn't be easier. Trust me, it's a lot harder to try and get them back in the bag afterwards. All you do is take away the bag, let go, and up it pops. Go to the bottom, splay it out. a few pegs in the bottom to stabilise it and lock it in place, and there you are. And finally, you've had the toilet, you've had the washing facilities, the shower facilities. Now, obviously you can only use this in summer, but I bunked a couple of these things on the roof of the van. Remember, don't fill them all the way up. You really want them only half full. And, you know, less water you've got in these, the better for it heating up. So you could have 3 or 4, but I get away with 2. So I have a couple of these filled with water on the top of the van on a hot summer day. They heat up. They don't get boiling hot, but they are half decent. And then I decant the water into one of these. I use one of these as my water carrier. So I won't usually fill it all the way up, but at least I'll fill it halfway up. And that does for all my drinking water. Trust me, I have not had chemicals in this. It does for all my drinking water, for washing up, and eventually for a shower. Now, the sharp-eyed amongst you will have noticed the old lance that these things come with has been taken off, and I've replaced it with a lot longer piece of tube with one of these garden sprinklers. You've got a choice of jets in the top of here. And what you can do is you can fill it up with the water from these or some water from your kettle, etc. And you can pump it up and you gain the pressure for your shower. Or you can do with what I've done, and many other people have done the same thing. This is not unique to me by any means. This is a tyre valve, the same thing as what you have in your car. And by connecting the air pump for your tyre pump to this, it has a safety valve. So providing it's working properly, you half fill it full of hot or warm water and you wander off to your shower, but leaving the tyre pump on, it will constantly charge this up and will give you a really good jet of hot water in your shower. So that is really worth having. You can use the hot water for washing up as well. Anyhow, I am full of cold. It's a horrible stormy day. It looks sunny outside, and it is now. The rain clouds have gone. But trust me, it's a gale force wind still blowing outside the hall. We're really lucky to be in a building with 3-foot thick walls. So thank you to the village hall for letting me use the place occasionally. I'll be back again in another week. I think I'm doing stealth camping then, or hope to be. You just never know with the weather. We could have floods or snow or anything by then. So please, once again, remember to subscribe and to write in with all your comments and suggestions. Oh, I've forgotten. One young lady has suggested, or rather asked me, what I call my van. And I never really thought about it. With the old VW, we used to call it Bob, because it was forever bobbing in and out of the garage. But we haven't thought of a name for our van yet. So tell you what, if anybody wants to send me pictures of them, their vans, and what they call her, him, it, please do, and maybe we'll pop them on the channel. And meanwhile, I'll have a think about what the hell to call my Peugeot. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again in another week. Thank you very, very much for watching. Bye for now.